Welcome, everybody. We are live. Welcome to the Villa Bianca after party. I hope you guys enjoyed the original interview. If you somehow missed it, I'm not going to be mad. Don't worry. But there's a link to it below if you do want to go and watch the original one, because you can tune into this at any old time. Because basically, this one's just for fun and where we get to chat a little bit more with V, with some of her fans and friends and stuff like that. So it's always a good time. Once again, V, thanks again for jumping in with me today. I had so much fun with you, man, and it blew away my expectations. Right? So,
awesome! Right. Yeah, me too. I was excited to finally sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah, it was good. It's good. And lo and behold, we have Mr. Red Venture in here with us. He hasn't been in here with us for quite some time, man. So, Red, why don't you tell us what you've been doing lately, dude?
Well, I've been. I've finally gotten a few videos out over the last couple months.
I saw one come up.
Yep. So I got that. I've been working on that. Do a Saturday show with a couple of friends.
Nice.
Yep. So
you ever need a guest? I'm always game. You know that. Yeah. Well, that actually reminds me too. Something not a lot of people know yet because I don't think I've mentioned it. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I get a little more of these into me, and I might be more explanatory in some things. But I'm starting another podcast with the one and only Godless Mom, Courtney Hurd.
Fun!
Yeah, so she's going to be. Her and I are going to be doing. We're trying to figure out a name. It's going to be, I think, Rock Talk and Two Atheist Canadians or something, like a play off of the Lock, Stock, and Smoke and Barrel thing. But we've already managed to. Well, I'm the one that's doing the recruiting for the show, so Via might get hit up by me again to come on and chat again.
Sounds
with
good to me.
Courtney and I, and also we'll be talking to a lot of theists as well. We'll have them on.
That'll be fun.
We're going to do bi-weekly.
Talking
I think
to theists is always fun.
Oh yeah. But these are ones like I've made friends with quite a few. And I think one of the topics that I want to tackle, I think, is how can we, even though we know that we're not going to change each other's minds, like they're convinced in what they're convinced, we're convinced in what we're convinced, but how can we have a conversation that demonstrates to everyone that we don't have to be at each other's throats all the time, that we can still be like my friend Craig and I always talk about music and movies that we dig and all the cool stuff we used to do in high school, all the parties we used to go to, that kind of thing, right? We can just have normal conversations and, that's nice, dude. How can we get that word out there to everyone so that there doesn't have to be so much vitriolic conversations going on in the communities? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that's part of the goal of secular sexuality. Yeah. We take a different kind of tack from the atheist experience and talk even because we will have theists on and discuss kind of where we find similarities. One of our more recent guests was Kevin Garcia, and they are a non-binary pastor and queer
Which
activist.
Is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I love them so much. I follow them on Twitter, and we're friends. And it was really cool to be able to sit down and say, okay, here's where we disagree, but here's how we can help each other, because the goal was to promote LGBTQ equality and be there for people who purity culture had left behind. So I'm 100% down with making friends with theists and finding the ways that we can connect.
Can I ask you this question? How do you feel about the Supreme Court case that's going on right now with the LGBT firings and so forth right now with the two gay men that were fired and the transgender person that was fired and so forth, and that they're bringing to the courts?
Oh yeah, no, I actually, the super secret show that we're filming, we actually discussed that in depth today. So I've spent 3 hours today talking exactly about that. So I have many, many thoughts, but you have to tune into the ACA to find out what they are.
When is this going to run? By the way,
we have to talk with Mark and bug Mark a little bit, because it's not live. We're going to be premiering it, but it's going to be a more produced show than some of the others. My goal is to have it out by November, but we will see how that happens. At the very latest, it'll be early 2020. So we get all our ducks in the row the last 2 months and then start letting those out.
Fantastic.
But To answer your question very briefly, because I don't want to get into politics too much, because my brain is very, very tired right now.
Okay.
I think that it's a very important case to be following, and it's going to have wide-reaching implications regardless of the decision. So yeah, it's very important, and it's going to show us exactly what we can expect from the Supreme Court from here on out.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing to discuss too.
What's your take on it, Pikachu?
Well, I think it's important because, obviously you shouldn't be fired for being, able to be who you are. That's
exactly.
That's a situation, that's whatever. But right now, there's other pressing things that I'm also thinking about too. But it is important, and it's definitely got wide-ranging sort of effects on it. Right now, I'm actually working on a project that I've been doing, and I talked about it to you with Neil on the DMs. I think it is. I don't know what you guys' opinions are on Social Security reform or any of that sort of stuff, but there is a if you know what Social Security is, there's 3 different types of Social Security that I know of. There's 2 that you pay into, one for retirement, etc., whatever, when you reach 65 years or older. There's one for disability. If you can't reach retirement, you get disabled, disabled, and then you get early entry into the retirement or whatever sort of stuff, and that's what they call SSDI. And then you have what's called supplementary security income. Now, the problem is with this is that what we found, and I've been on this for 13 years, and I've been writing this essay for the last month or so because I had complaints about some of their policies that they've had for a long time. And one of the things was that they had a policy where if you have disability and you're born with a disability, say Asperger's or whatever, and you can't function in society as a normal person or whatever, and you need security supplement security income or whatever, and then what happens is that they start saying that you can only have $2,000. You have to have a $2,000. It's a $2,000 limit in assets. You can't have any more than that.
What
is what their policies are? And what we were stating is in the essay.
That seems really low.
Yes, it is. It's awfully low. And they were saying that that many of the people in the U.S., many people who are disabled are like 40%. This was to HUD. The HUD was housing and urban development. Yeah, was stating that in 2008, 40% of homeless people were disabled, and we have tangible, and I mean insurmountable evidence to prove that this policy that the SSI is doing is in violation of Section 1 of the 14th Amendment in the essay that I have. And I presented this to my therapist, and my therapist has given hints that there might be even more evidence from the APA, from other groups, and from, psychological whatever sort of stuff to prove that they're violating the they're violating the the SSI is violating the rights and liberties of the disabled people on who are on their program for whatever sort of things. And it's a terrible situation. It's awful. And I have neighbors and other things that have been kicked off of SSI, and I have other people that I've talked to. I've known that's been that's been on SSI, and people that have seen that have been on SSI, they say that the situation is so dire that it's literally at the point where there's no reason to go to work if you're on Social Security, supplement security income. There's no point in going to work because they're going to cut you out immediately. There's no point in actually doing anything at all. And there's not even a point in actually even going on the program, period. Unless you're, whatever. And we're saying what this statement is that there's enough evidence here that if you're on the program and you get the money or you get the situation, settled, you can settle this in the courts if you have the capability in the legal aspects, the backing. You can settle this in the circuit courts or in the appeals courts or whatever, stuff, and it would not hold water at all because the SSI and SSA would not have a defense to be able to hold it up, because the Section 1 of the 14th Amendment has what they consider as objective words, objective writing, and an objective interpretation of its writings. So they can't, there's nothing they can do. There's no defense that they can put up against it at all.
Wow.
Yeah. And if this were to go to court, it would have massive implications for people that are disabled for whatever purposes. So,
would they not be getting help from the government then?
Well, no. The thing is that what would happen is that SSI, if they ruled that the rules that SSI had was unconstitutional, they would still be getting their supplements. But what would happen is that the rules would change. And instead, the only qualifier would be that you have been diagnosed and that you're legally eligible from the diagnosis with a doctor. So
people could take advantage of that if they wanted to then.
Yeah, but if it's on the thing, they can't, So
when I say that, I mean unscrupulous people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know what you mean. So
we don't really have anything like.
Yeah.
We have stuff like that in Canada, but it's not the same idea. We have disability. Yeah. We have CPP, which is Canadian Pension Plan. We have all this similar things, but one of the biggest concerns for us here is that the CPP that I've been paying into my whole life will no longer be there by the time I reach retirement age, which isn't that far away, by the way. Yeah. But anyways, so because our government fucking blows money like it's not even there. It's just here,
like it's made up.
Like they gave 10 grand to an ex fucking terrorist, for crying out loud, to try and rehabilitate him. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
It's kind of like this, like the people who are on those sort of programs, it's an objective position that they need some kind of supplements or stuff, whatever, for whatever purposes, and to limit their disabilities based on property or based on whatever is just not, I mean, you shouldn't take away the situation, but you should, you should obviously you shouldn't be limiting them based on, you know, their taxable properties and stuff, and etc. I meant to say. So that's the situation. And the case is that there definitely needs to be some kind of reform going through that as well, but there just isn't any talk about it, and it's you know, terrible for people that are disabled because they don't, you know.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah,
if they
it's
can't
shitty.
what's going to happen to them if this stuff falls through the cracks, right?
Yeah, well,
it's not an easy thing to do.
This is the situation. Like, it's this way. Like, you make your SSI payment. You get your income. It's from the SSI, and it's stable. And then something happens, and the rule, whatever, you know, it's not there anymore. Then you know, whatever your income was, it's gone.
Yeah.
And then you don't have anything. And then you're not able to pay the bills. You're not able to pay this. And, you know, you're out living on the damn street.
Yep. Homeless problem increases again.
Yep.
That's shitty. And these are disabled people that are now homeless, too. Welcome, Nacha. It's nice to see you. Or as you like to call yourself nowadays, Nacho. You know what's funny, dude?
Yeah, it's stuck.
The other day I'm at work, and the whole time I'm at work, I'm singing to myself, Nacho Man.
Very nice.
thinking about writing a tune for you, Nacho Man. But I think Homer Simpson already did it.
Homer's longest yard.
Yeah. So what's going on with you, man?
Oh, not a lot. Just chilling on the weekend. Saw you a lot. I don't get to catch live often enough these days for whatever reason. So when I do see you, I have to come and say hello. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we'll call it that.
Yeah, well, sure. That's I say everybody's slacking all the time, so it's all right. Of course, I'm the one doing all the slacking. So there you go.
Dude, you don't do slack, and you're pumping out the fucking videos.
Well, I try to, but of course,
you do nothing but work.
Last week, week and a half, I've been sick as a dog. Yeah, Nacho was actually give us a little message in the side chat, the private chat, that his dad's working on some stuff. So we're going to hear like hammers and bandsaws and shit in the background. So
yeah, I'm trying to mute myself anytime I'm not talking, just in case.
Yeah, no worries, brother. And Adam, what's going on with your channel these days?
I'm starting a new series, not a new channel, just a new series on my channel where I will be looking at some of the most prominent right-wing evangelical figures and
like the guy I just did the voice work for, Ray Comfort.
Maybe one of him. I'm mainly focused on the ones that like Rick Wiles, Jim Baker, Dave Daubenmire, the ones you see on Right Wing Watch all the time because of just the shit that they say. So I'm just gonna do a little series. I have one about Jim Baker coming out tomorrow. And then I'm got some other ones I'll be focused on. I think I'm going to do about 5 or 6. We'll see.
Excellent.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm really motivated. I never have a video done and then the script for the next video done the next day. Never. But I love this because these scripts write themselves. They're so easy.
Oh my gosh. Well, when inspiration strikes.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what are you drinking? What are you drinking, Adam?
Angry Orchard, as always.
Oh, okay.
I can't drink.
What?
I can't drink.
Pikachu, we're gonna have to fix that problem.
Adam, how's the move looking? Any news?
That was my next question.
Yeah,
get out of my head.
It's hard. It's difficult. I don't know if it'll work because the people that offered turns out they're going to be traveling a lot. So I'm looking at needing potentially 3, the most 4 weeks, but probably like 2 or 3. But they're going to be traveling halfway through that. So it's like I have a place for like a week or 2. So I'm going to start putting in some applications and just see what happens. If I have to sleep in my fucking car, it just will. Like, where's the rich neighborhood? I'm just going to go sleep in my car in the rich neighborhood. I know I'll be safe.
Well, you were saying that they had the hostels down there.
There are actually. I mean,
should
depends
Adam
on
look into that?
I don't know if that's something I'm interested in.
Yeah, it depends on how much you're willing to spend. I only needed to do it for one weekend, and it was like $85-$90, which wasn't terrible for a weekend, but that'll add up pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I know that I'm not gonna advertise that like Matt's available, but he does tend to let people crash.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just ask.
It's up to whoever wants to offer, because I know my personality. I tend to hate having people come invade my space, so I'm really only looking to have people who are cool with it. Otherwise, I'll feel bad for being here. So it's really just whoever offers. But we'll see what happens. Everything works out in the end, so it'll be all right.
Well, I'll try and put in some good words for you.
Thanks.
Likewise.
I know a few people. Like I know Jamie. Whenever I'm down there, he puts me up all the time, right? So,
yeah, Jamie's house is pretty big, and he and his roommates are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ocean
I'll pop around.
Ocean lives in Georgia. Ocean doesn't live in Austin. Adam needs somewhere in Austin, and it's a hell of a commute from Georgia. Okay, so
that probably wouldn't help you.
Get him to fly there. Get him to fly there. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're not going to believe this, but remember the imposter Eric Murphy we had in the chat a while ago? Sorry, Eric. Sorry, other Eric Murphy, if you're listening. But we actually have the real Eric Murphy is in the chat now. By the way,
there's an imposter Eric Murphy.
Yeah, that's the guy who always comes in to my shows and he says, "Hi everybody," not the actual Eric Murphy. He puts in brackets all the time, right from Doc Ethan.
True. Oh, that's awesome.
Eric, I think this is the first time you've actually jumped in. How you doing, brother?
Hey, Eric.
You know, I could kick somebody's ass out of here if you want to jump in for a few minutes.
I'm always easy to bugger off and come back, whatever works.
Eric Big D Murphy. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Big D. Oh, I see what you did there, doorknob bed. Jeez. Is there something you want to tell us? I'm just kidding.
Congratulations.
Oh,
man.
Congrats. That's awesome. That's awesome. You're going to be, I don't even know if you are already, but you're going to be an uncle soon, I guess, then, huh? if they're going to have kids, because, nowadays a lot of people don't actually want to do kids. So, or have kids. I shouldn't say want to do kids, because that could be totally misconstrued, right?
It's generally a good idea not to want to do kids.
Yeah, generally, yeah.
If you can help it.
Unless you're a priest. Oh, did I say that?
That brings me to something that you guys were discussing about the sin issue stuff, because I was an ex-Catholic, or am an ex-Catholic, and the situation is, I remember when I was little, they were telling us like we were going to to do First Communion, and we were going to do the first confessional stuff. I think it was. It was a few times before, and they would say like, "Oh, you got to count your sins." And I'm just thinking of this. I was like, okay, like you go into church and you're like, "Okay, Father, I've been here like, how many times? We're on the like 10 quintillionth sin now. Like how many sins are going through?"
Okay, Eric will jump in for a little bit. Because, I mean, one of his co-hosts is hanging out with us, so I mean, why wouldn't he want to? Nashi, you want to jump over? I can.
Too easy.
All right, Eric, I'll send you a link via Twitter. Okay, so go to your Twitter account, and I'll send it to you in the messages there. Be cool. I haven't
Much love.
Thanks, Nacho. You jump back. Oh, never mind.
Thanks for hanging out, Nacho.
Yeah. Nacho's one of the first people that I met, actually, when I first got involved with doing the sort of atheistic stuff, right? Nacho was one of the first people that I met. And I read you were really early on in my first endeavors with the atheist community online.
Yep, I think we met through Don.
That's right. That's right. It's exactly the same way that Nacho and I met. That's where I met pretty much everybody. at that point. Okay.
I had the honor of being in the Usual Suspects before ever being on the show.
That's right too.
Great. I wanted to ask a question, and I think I wanted to ask this to Adam too. There's a issue going on within the trans community on I think it is BreadTube, I think right now, with like ContraPoints and with some other sort of stuff.
Yeah,
but I want to get your opinions on the situation because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I have my own strong opinions about at least the last controversy that ContraPoints was involved with. This new one, I haven't done any research into it, so I do know that she said on her Patreon that I'm signed up for that she's going to be addressing the whole thing in a video that's coming up next. So I'm withholding judgment until I hear that from her side, and then I guess I'll make a decision. But at this point, I think the other one was overblown, and I say that as a non-binary person who was supposed to have been offended by it. But I mean, it's a sticky issue, and everybody people have conflicting needs, and it's rough and difficult to try and figure out, what to prioritize.
Yeah, this new one is seems to be more legit in the criticism. I don't know that I'm not as familiar with who this person is, but I've seen enough tweets and stuff come out just on the timeline from him that are yikes. But he's apparently a bit of a trans medicalist kind of thing. So she had him on in the video, do the voiceover and stuff like that, and a lot of people are upset. And so.
Okay, I haven't followed that one.
I honestly had never heard of ContraPoints until I saw people mentioning it around the time that our community had a little.
I'd heard the name.
But what's the word Jamie liked to use? Kerfuffle.
Well, there's a lot of crossover between BreadTube and the actual atheist community. Like there's a lot of actual atheist YouTubers that are on. They're also with the BreadTube. And do a lot of stuff with both of them. So, and there's, I think Cyrus the Skeptic is one of them. Atheist Rationale is another one. There's a bunch of different people that do both stuff with both communities. Yeah, Hugo and Jake, all that sort of stuff.
Hugo and Jake. H-Bomber Guy does some.
H-Bomber Guy does some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a problem with idolizing people in the YouTube community in general. And if someone makes one mistake or slip up or says something we disagree with, it's like everyone must now shun this person or else. I think we need to practice more active listening just as a community. Yeah. That said, again, I don't know what this latest scandal is, so I'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
I agree. I can agree. But I will say this about the trans medicalist sort of situation is that the reality of it is that there's no support, I would say, from a psychological aspect, I would assume. Pretty much coming from if you're coming from the like the APA or you're coming from different groups like that, I strongly don't think that the APA actually supports transmedicalism in certain areas. So, and for certain reasons, because the mind is much more complex than we actually know. And if we could slice it out of this sort of like, if there was a way to disconnect the mind, the personality from the mind or whatever, it would just, there's no way to actually conclude all those sort of things. So there's a lot of stuff to say that this sort of transmedical stuff is probably not as grounded as we think,
transmeds and true scum in general are people I pretty much stay away from, but because they don't think I exist. But
yeah. You see I know that this philosophy of was it humanism sort of stuff, whatever, is sounds kind of weird. But one of the elements of it is neurological technology and stuff like that, and whatever.
Transhumanism?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was into that. And the thing is that one of the elements is that if there was a way to connect the brain to the computer and to normalize, to have a natural sort of link with the computer and the brain, and to do whatever sort of stuff, that, how would you be able to, address this sort of elements if you're trying to link that the personality is a biological element, if it's not, whatever.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Eric and I were talking about this the other day. We need to find someone to give this channel name to. But what if, like, the transhumanist?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Eric, we know what you look like. It's okay if the camera doesn't work.
I'm trying to help, but it's not working. Hey, everybody.
Hey
you.
Hey, Eric.
It's nice to have you in, brother. It's been a while since we've had a little chitty chatty.
It has. I missed you, man.
Yeah, hey, I know, and I'm definitely there for next year as well. And I think I'm going to take 2 weeks off so I can hang out even longer.
You better, because you got to come down to Austin and hang with us.
Oh, that's the plan, man.
Fuck yeah.
That's the plan.
Good. Yeah, my little sister just got married.
That's amazing.
Yay.
Congrats.
Yeah, I only have one little sister, and it was freaking wonderful.
Did you cry?
Baby.
Yeah, I did at my sister's wedding too, brother. So I hear you.
Actually, something just happened. I figured I'd share it because, Neil, I told you about this when I came on and gave you my story. That I said I have family that won't speak to me anymore.
Right. No way.
Yeah, I talked to them.
And?
Wow.
Yeah, and to a person, we all decided that, you know what? Love is more important. Family is more important. They were willing to put it down, at least when we're together, so that we can not make it hard on everyone else. And it was really wonderful.
That's so good to hear.
If I was there, I'd give you a great big hug right now, dude, because that's fucking amazing. That's when you know that, you know what, at least they're not so into it that they would allow something like their beliefs to come between family ultimately. And that's fantastic.
They were.
I know. That's why I said ultimately. They sometimes it takes a while for people for it to sink in, that kind of thing, right? Family is always more important.
Agreed. I don't mean to interrupt too much of your show, but I did want to say hi.
No, you're not interrupting. You're part of it now.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
I have room for 6 people, so you're always welcome. I told you that a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
But you're a busy dude, and I get it. It's cool. I got my own thing going here. It's all right.
Yeah.
Tell Mark that I'm now monetized, so they can actually make money off me if they do want to add me to the roster.
We just need the right people, and you're good people, man.
Well, thank you, brother. I think I've been going on with V earlier about my trip down there and how much I miss you guys and how much it was like the best experience ever of all the vacations, except maybe when I was 7 and we went to Disneyland. That was pretty cool too. But, but I mean, that was like I talk about the trip all the time. That so much so that people are now starting to think that they were there with me. Let's put it that
way. Oh man. I couldn't imagine coming down for only like a couple of weeks. Like, I feel like that would drive me crazy to be like.
I hated leaving.
Yeah, no,
I gave everyone like extra hugs. I hated leaving.
Hey, how do you guys? I know. I don't think Eric heard this because we talked about it before it was live with the situation with my family member. But the thing is. How do you guys just go through this daily when you get callers who come on and say that the evangelicals are going to rise up and are going to overthrow the government and they're going to institute theocracy and stuff. Because every time I see that happening, I can just see Matt just like clicking the end call in the end call button every single time.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to go first?
Oh gosh, it's something I heard as a kid. It's a pipe dream. Honestly, it's not gonna happen. Not that we shouldn't take threats seriously, because we should, but I think that they have an overinflated sense of self-importance and effectiveness.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I mean, I think you shouldn't let it bother you. Is the thing that I'd take away from that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that it's a really, really unique situation when people are calling in. I mean, you have these lights in your face and you're staring into a camera and there's an audience and there's all of this and you're hearing your voice in your ears, and all of that is just
there's medication for that.
But I mean,
I know I take enough of it.
the thing is, there's so much of it, right? That there's so much that's absolutely different and unique that it kind of pulls you out of yourself. And so you remember that you're having this conversation for other people. And it definitely gives you way more patience. Like I'm be able to tell you, I am not as patient a person in real life. It's just not the case. But I play one on TV
too.
Well, I mean, shit, I've seen how impatient Matt is in like there's 4-hour videos on YouTube. Like
Matt's been doing it for over 20 years or something like that. So that tends to grate on you after a while when you hear the same old fucking tropes over and over again.
I know what you're saying.
But in real life, I don't know, the situations that you're going to find are going to be very different. Most of the time, people are going to be in a situation where they're talking to family. They're talking to somebody that they care about. And that means that you actually have to keep the peace. You can't fucking hang up on them.
Right.
Can't say no, you're done to your crazy Uncle Larry as much as you want to.
I'm crazy Uncle Neil, if that helps.
And it's a situation like when you're in a situation like what I was talking about with people that are disabled who are in need of help, and especially if they how should I say, deconvert, and they're in a situation where they have family members that are, in this case, say for instance, they can't drive, they can't do this, they need getting around, and they have a fundamentalist family member who's in this case who's being that sort of way. It then becomes a situation where now it can be detrimental to their own health, to their own sort of whatever, and it can really put them in a very bad situation. And this is what you guys are doing, at the ACA is very vital to supporting that sort of stuff.
Well, actually, I don't think we can take any credit for that, man. We just yell at people on the internet. But what you're doing, when it comes to advocating for yourself, when it comes to saying, you know what, I have value. Yeah, we can talk until we're blue in the face, but when you actually do it, you can't fucking thank me, dude. That's you.
Yeah.
That's you being a fucking badass.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's why I said earlier, Pikachu, I'm always in your corner if you ever need anything, right?
Yeah.
So cheers to you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Pikachu does have a really good channel too. If you guys just look up Pikachu, you're using the Gay Atheist now, right, for your channel? Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Look it up.
I put gay in there because of the issue with, not just because of my homosexuality, but because at the time that I switched the name, there was the tobacco with the what was it, the NIFB and that sort of stuff, and
the fucking
Jimmy
assholes we went to war with
and so forth. And it was kind of like, I wanted to say, well, in support of not only this, support of Jimmy Snow, and in support of my own sexual orientation, we go ahead and do this. And of course, this also supports philosophical position that I believe in too as well.
Yeah, for sure. Good for you.
Yeah, we I think, Eric, if I remember correctly, we got a bunch of their PayPal accounts shut down and stuff like that, didn't we?
Oh shit, yeah.
You know what? I can't say we either. I sat and I saw some heroes do some amazing stuff, and Neil, you're one of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had a hand in it with Atheist Rationale and a couple other people, but I really did. I helped a little, but I really didn't do too much, so I can't really take any credit. AR did all the work, in my opinion, him and a couple other folks too. But I mean, we got a lot of their stuff shut down, a lot of their funding shut down. So
yeah.
But they just pop up all over. Fuck, man! I just realized the other day that we have an NIFB outlet right around the goddamn corner from me, in a little town called Surrey. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. No. So I'm gonna go over there and make some fucking noise. You can count on it.
That's amazing.
Ooh, bring a camera.
Good.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Good.
I just dug the little bastard out of the closet, so I've got my little HD camera right here, and I'm going over there, and I'm gonna make a fucking scene. Trust me.
I know I've said this. I know I've said this before to what was it, Thomas Westbrook. If you guys ever do the convention again, and
he's got to wear the pumpkin suit.
Last time, do the fucking protest in front of the Steadfast Baptist Church with all the atheist community and everybody there. You know what I'm saying?
It does. Anyone that's behind it, right?
There again,
But I when I interviewed Thomas, you've seen his video where he was there and he put on the pumpkin suit and did the twerking and all that. Yes. When I interviewed him, he actually put the suit back on and did twerking for everybody who was watching the show, which just, I was on the floor. I was like, oh, Thomas, this is why I like you, man. He's just willing to do that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I see him from time to time, every once in a while. I might have that.
Yeah, you run into him every so often.
Everyone. For those of you who don't know, he's my roommate.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I had no idea you guys were living together now.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, they're in a very serious relationship.
We do
some serious stuff.
You know what? He cooks and I clean, and you know what? He is definitely worth keeping around. He works so hard; it makes me feel bad about myself.
What?
Two guys that know. Yeah, two guys that know how to do stuff on YouTube, that know how the platform works, that know how to do all this sort of stuff, and know how to run a channel, and know how to do everything, and both living in the same house.
It was it has definitely been a really, really big positive influence for both of us to help each other out, because it's funny, he is able to edit at a speed that is unprecedented. I'm sitting there, and nobody. Okay. I'm gonna dish just a little bit. I'm gonna dish, and here it is. Other YouTubers have taken turns throwing me the world's smallest violin pity party, because my very first episode of a thing that I did came with a producer, an audio engineer, a live studio audience, and a studio. And so when it came to actually making my own shit, I can be in front of the camera, I can talk, but I don't know how to do the stuff.
I know, right?
It was
not
so
easy.
hard. And I'm talking to people who've got, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they're just like, oh, wait, you don't know how to. And so I'm sitting there, and I remember I was working for like 4 hours on making a graphic. And I finally called him. I said, Thomas, please help. And I swear to you, less than 10 seconds. He did this fucking keyboard wizardry. He didn't even touch the mouse.
Wow.
And I'm
telekinesis, or
it's you know what? He's a wizard, is what it is.
Yeah.
Can I advise you a program that might actually help you? Stuff like this. Unless unless
Just
of course
say the
you want to go
program,
for
Pete.
something that's more
Come on.
expensive. It's called Movavi Video Editor Plus 2020. They have editions for Windows, Linux, Mac, and all that sort of stuff, whatever. And it's got all kinds of video editing stuff for green screen, stuff for all kinds of different things. And really, you can do all kinds of good editing stuff with it. The best bet to do, though, is to do kind of like what ContraPoints does, what H Bomber Guy does, set up, suits, sets, stuff like that, things that will get people attracted into your video, as far as things where, like, how they do on, like, what is it, on MSN and all that stuff, where they wear lapel mics and stuff like that, on the TV stuff, like, wear a lapel mic, but wear professional, sort of decent professional clothing that's, whatever. And then have it on a good set and so forth. It doesn't have to be expensive, but it can be, presentable and so forth and whatever. So,
Are you saying I'm not presentable?
But you get the picture. So, and some of the stuff that I've seen with Movavi is really good. I mean,
I hear it's a great program.
The background on that program is outstanding. I mean, it's better than the one that I had before.
I'll check it out right now. I have the Adobe Creative Cloud, and so I'm using Premiere and After Effects.
Yeah, that's what I'm using.
After Effects is pretty good too. After Effects might not be the necessarily best thing. You're probably better off with Final Cut or something like that for just video sort of stuff. After Effects is kind of applied sort of stuff, so it's a little bit more complicated, I think. So
for sure,
if you're just doing videos, you're probably better off with with more something like Final Cut or something like that, or Movavi. Movavi's only like $60.
I appreciate the advice, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And yeah, it's neat because you can get a lot of really good software. Even the DOSC software and other sort of software that's really good or decent for almost free and run on YouTube. And as long as you have like a compressor gate and an XLR, which I've seen you have the Shure SM7B. I think you've shown the videos, so I'm pretty sure you got some equipment for it. The thing is that you can basically run like Audacity and run it through a compressor.
Somebody in the chat said Pirate Bay has it all for free.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you could run all that stuff. No problem,
For sure, man.
Here on Neil, the 604 Atheist Deconversion Stories, we do not condone downloading programs like that.
No. There's websites.
If only we were atheists without morals.
Right.
No, we have morals even as atheists. We're not. The Christians are the ones that don't have morals. No, well, there's some that do, but not all. The fundamentalists don't.
All right, I'm going to mute your ass for a second here. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, I think there's a recent study out there that shows that atheist children are actually a lot more approachable and friendly than the believing or theistic children, we'll say. They're
more
a lot less, empathetic, less judgmental, less asshole-ish. I guess the word.
I'm sorry, I'm reading your live chat. I know all of these people. You've got some fucking good people in your live chat.
Oh yeah. IQ's been whoring out your new YouTube channel too, by the way, which I've done as well for a few times as well. Trying to get you and Jamie still doing the race to see who gets to 1,000 first.
Oh fuck yeah!
I just hit 1,000, dude.
You did?
Yeah, I passed 1,000.
What was this?
Yeah, a few days ago. I'm at 1,030 something now, and I've been
Nice.
monetized. And I'm like, yeah, like it blew me away. Like I said, I was at about 800 something. I said, geez, I'd like to get to 1,000 by my birthday, which is tomorrow. And I hit it. I did. I got to 1,000 before the birthday.
Wait, can we embarrass Neil and sing happy birthday to him before he meets us?
Yes.
All right, let's do that. Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
You guys, I love you guys. Thanks.
Man, that is awesome.
I know. I was pretty stoked. I'm like, all right. I like the two best birthday presents I could possibly get was hitting 1,000 subs and an interview with Vila Bianca.
Oh my gosh!
Look at that. Well, I will not. I will not take too much more time, but I did want to say, y'all rock. And Neil,
yeah,
sent you a video.
Oh, cool.
On Facebook, I took a video. I had to take a picture of like a short walking video of my little sister's wedding because it looks like Pinterest vomited all over the entire fucking. It is unbelievable. It is like everything you can imagine. I was looking for Live, Laugh, Love. That's the only thing I did. You could smell the fucking pumpkin spice off it. It was wonderful. I was so happy.
Well, dude, congratulations to you for that, by the way. That's awesome. I will definitely check that out, and I'll give you some feedback. Probably it'll be, judging by what you said, it'll probably be a lot of laughter involved. But, it'll also be a lot of, oh my goodness, that's awesome. So,
for sure. But I need to get back before I get in trouble. But love y'all. Have a good night.
Thanks for jumping in, Eric. It's good to talk to you.
Night, Eric. See you soon.
Right, Red, you've been pretty quiet, brother. What's going on? Just hanging out in the background. He's probably just listening, but at this point, or he's out of the room and grabbing a food or something.
That's how it goes.
That's all right. It happens. It's good. I'm just happy he's in here because he used to jump into my after parties all the time, and I did an interview with him as well. But and I loved having him in, but just he's gotten busy and just scheduling not working. But hang on, I just got to say much love, Eric. There you go, buddy.
V, you had said that our backgrounds were similar, and so I was really curious to tune into this and see. And it was funny because everything you said, I was just like, same.
Yeah.
Like V wasn't lying. It's very similar.
It's a weird background to come from, isn't it? Because it's like nobody knows except for like a very small group of people who know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. As soon as I hear that anyone was conservative, non-denominational, I'm like, I know exactly.
I know
what
that.
you went through. Yeah. I got you.
If anyone else wants to jump in, I'm still going to be going for at least about another half an hour, but I got a bunch of friends that want to, they're gathering downstairs at my friend Mikey's place, and they want to make me drink single malt scotch. Make me drink single malt scotch. Like
I was going to
that's
say,
a thing.
it sounds like it's going to be very hard for you. I feel a lot of empathy for your situation.
Yeah, right. I'm sure I'll handle it well.
Hey Neil,
Yes,
I'm begging Nacho to come back in here. I almost called him Nacho Mom. I'm begging Neil,
Nacho Mom.
begging Nacho Witness to come back in here.
Well, if anyone is a member of my Usual Suspects group, the link is there if you guys want to come in. Nacho was in here, but he jumped out so that Eric could jump in for a bit, which I very much appreciate. Nacho's just that kind of guy. Oh, and here comes IQ, the moderator extraordinaire. Let's hope his audio is working because it's been kind of sucky lately. IQ, you with us?
Oh, right, it works.
Yay!
This is actually the first time that I've heard IQ's voice, because the last time I didn't hear him, but I can actually hear the sixth person.
That's right too. I was having to do the translation thing for you guys.
Yeah. Thankfully, I can hear the sixth person. So cool.
What's going on, IQ man? Thanks for whoring out all the links for me tonight. That's fantastic as usual.
It's what I do.
It is. That's what you always say to me too. No need to thank me, man. It's what I do.
No, seriously, like I don't have the means to start my own channel, so I feel like I'm so much more worth to the community, just helping people out, really good people that are doing good shit, than just start some lame ass little channel trying to claim this, some sort of notoriety. Fuck that. No, I'm just gonna be support that good people that are out there doing good shit. That's what they need.
Well, I appreciate it, man, and I don't think I tell you enough. So, just so you know,
quite all right. You're becoming busier and busier at the moment.
I know. I'm going to be on a bunch of shows coming up soon.
Talk to anybody for very long because you're so busy.
Well.
I feel that for sure. Except talking to people is my busy. So
yeah, that's why I love doing what I do. I mean, I'm going to be on last night when I was on Truth Wanted, called into Truth Wanted. You know that Diana was the co-host last night, right? IQ?
Oh yeah.
Lavender Lady was. Oh yeah, that's right. You were fucking moderating.
Yeah, I was pouring her shit out the whole time too. I'm a mod. I'm a mod on all the. I'm a mod there, so I got to do it.
So her and I decided how the adoption thing got brought up. Well, I was adopted. She was adopted, and also, Eric was adopted. I was going to ask him about that if he'd like to come on and put his 2 cents in about that too. I'll have to do that. I'll send him a message. But yeah, we're on the 27th, on Sunday, the 27th of October, we're going to do a show based around adoption. And I consider my situation to be a little bit unique because I was born to Christians and raised Jewish. So, and then I ended up becoming pagan for a while, and now I'm an atheist. So it's like this weird ass roller coaster shit, right? And I'm also going to be on Utah Outcasts on the 26th, on the Saturday, at around, I can't remember what time I'll be on, but 10 p.m. So late for me. That'll be after my show. So yeah, the Utah Outcast guys are awesome. If you guys don't know who they are, definitely go look them up and check them out because they've got some great stuff on there. Anyway, yeah, so I'll be on their show. I was supposed to be on another show, but the people that were running that show decided to shut it down. So I won't be on that show anymore. Yeah, people are coming out of the woodwork asking me to come on their podcast and stuff. So, and I got John W. Loftus to come on to my show.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, right. That should be a really good one.
That's gonna wait. Has he already been on, or is this upcoming?
No, he's when did I schedule him for? He's still on for this season because my season 2 is closing on December 16th. That'll be the final episode, which I still have yet. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slots left for this season. John Loftus is coming on Monday, November 18th.
Awesome.
At 4
That's exciting.
And I got Zara K. She's coming on November 23rd. I got T-Jump, who will be coming on November 25th. Nervardia, if you guys are familiar with Nervardia, she'll be on here on the 27th. Raging Atheists, Nokasuchi, is going to be on the 11th. I actually had him scheduled earlier, but I had to move him because I was sick or whatnot. Or I had to move him because no, that's what it was. My mom decided, I thought we were going to do a dinner for me for my birthday on the 21st, but she decided the 28th would be better. So, and I had Nokasuchi scheduled for the 20th. I'm like, dude, mom wants me to do a birthday dinner. Do you mind bumping? It's like, fuck no, mom, come first, man. That kind of thing, right? So we moved it up there. Yeah. And
there's a lot of those names that aren't on your Discord, Neil. I'm gonna create a channel on your Discord that's just admin only. It's just here, IQ, take care of it. That's what I'm gonna call the fucking channel. Whenever you get a new name, just plug it in there, and I will put it on your calendar in there so everybody knows that. Oh, look, this date's open. I can ask him if I can do this day, or are you having a show today, Neil? Take care of all that shit.
Well, October 28th and October 30th, there aren't shows because one's my birthday dinner, obviously, the one that got bumped. And Wednesday is my blood donation day that I do. I don't know if I told you about that, V. I championed a blood donor group here in Canada to honor my dad's commitment to his donations because he did 530 before he passed away. So I started what they call here in Canada a Partners for Life group. And I went on the news about it, and I said, "Listen, my dad did 523 donations. All donations are needed. He's an O negative blood type, which is universal. So I'd love to get as many people as I can on my team to continue the donations that he would have had." And when I told the Canadian Blood Services about it first, they were like, "Well, a single guy started Partners for Life group. You might want to." Be conservative with your numbers that you think, because I'm telling them, oh yeah, we'll break my dad's numbers, no problem. They're looking at each other like I'm from fucking Mars or something. they're like, this is no, a single person started Partners for Life group rarely does more than 50. And I'm like, well, you guys haven't been dealing with me yet. So I ended up recruiting almost 200 people in the first year, and we broke his record. We did 681 donations in the first year. And that's never happened in Canadian history. So I got I had people recognizing me. I was at 7-Eleven one time, and I went in to grab a pack of smokes or whatever, and a hot dog, I think, or something. And as I'm walking out, this little lady looks at me, and she does a double take, and she goes, "Are you that boy that was on TV?" I'm like 40 at the time or something. "Are you that boy that was on TV talking about the blood donations?" And I said, "Yes." "Oh, you saw that? Oh, that's fantastic." And I'm like, "Are you a blood donor?" She goes, "Well, that's not. Do you mind if I give you a hug?" And I'm like, "Okay." So she gives me a hug, and she goes, "It's because of people like you that I got 5 more years with my husband."
Wow.
That's the ultimate thank you that I can think of. Right?
Wow.
Like I'm welling up already just thinking about the situation. Right?
Can I say something about this, Neil?
Sure.
I had to take a blood donation myself. I had to not take a blood donation. I had to take a blood transfusion myself while I was in the hospital.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You told me that before. Yeah.
So
that's why I do it, man, so that even people I know will have a chance to carry on.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's recognition like that that makes it all worth it for me. So, and now I'm getting emails from people that have watched my show telling me how much it's helped them, and that means a lot to me too, which I think is. I didn't expect that, to be honest. I just thought people would watch it. They go, "Oh, that's pretty cool," or I identify with that story or whatever.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's helping. It's helping people, and I've gotten about 3 now from people telling me that they were able to either make a decision or talk to relatives about this, or like because of the show that they've heard. Right, so it makes me feel
it's
good
a
that
crazy feeling.
Yeah.
To be impacting people's lives that you've never met.
Right.
It's sobering. It's like, oh shit, this is real life. This is real what we're doing.
Yeah, like after my coming out video came out, I got a lot of messages, and I was like, I know for like it may sound like counterintuitive, but it's actually humbling when it happens, because you're just like, whoa. It's not. I don't know. It's just you would think that would stroke someone's ego, but you get the absolute opposite effect. You're just completely humbled by it. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Red Angie Dell 66 in the chat wants to know if you talk.
Yeah, I do. Yep. All right.
Well, you were muted for a little while, so.
Yeah, I had to step out for a second.
Sorry no worries. Nah, fuck no worries, man. I'm glad you're here because it's been so long since you've been in one of these, so.
Yeah, it is. It's like I said, StreamYard. I usually when I work nights, I usually go on Purple Stream, and so everybody started switching over to StreamYard when Hangouts went out. And like, I can't get onto any of these things that I've been these groups for. To
what browser were you using?
Chrome.
And it wouldn't work.
No, after I went in, and I had to go into the settings and basically reset everything. I had something was conflicting with it.
That's weird because I've heard people were having issues with StreamYards with Firefox, but not with Chrome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was. I got onto it like the first time it came out, but the next time I went back in to go onto another one, it wasn't picking up the mic, wasn't picking up anything.
Oh, his settings issue. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So I had to go into the Chrome settings themselves and reset everything. So finally got it to work.
Excellent. That means you can jump in now more often.
Yep.
I'm going to mute myself for a second here. So.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Nobody wants to hear the trumpet. But I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick, guys, because I do have people waiting for me. And I'm not going to argue with people that want to get me drunk. That would be a bad thing.
As long as they're paying.
Exactly, right? And they are. I've got a couple of bottles waiting for me.
There you go. Yeah.
Single malt scotch. So.
Bottles waiting for you.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're going to have a good night.
What's that old saying? I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than the front of the bottom of me. Although I hear those frontal lobotomies can be quite peaceful.
Oh my God.
No.
Because those guys, I've had one. They're not peaceful.
No, I think it's a part of our history that, especially mental health, that's not very good at all.
Oh no, it's absolutely horrific.
So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's like, why were they doing this? I mean, it's disgusting. So. I mean, they were just basically damaging the human brain. That's what they were doing.
Of course, yeah.
And they knew it.
Thinking that it helped too, which was the fucked up part, right?
Well, the situation was they didn't have the medicines or they didn't have the psychiatric medicines to be able to help people with the stuff to be able to help people with things like schizophrenia and stuff like that.
Sure. So they didn't know what it was at the time.
They didn't know what it was. They didn't have the psychiatric medications. They didn't have some of the stuff that was necessary to do whatever. And there was a whole list of different things that was just whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a very bad practice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, hey Neil, do you think you might have any openings in December?
I do have a few. Do you want to hear them?
Yeah.
Because, if you want to get in while I'm still doing season 2, I have December 2nd, which is a Monday, the 4th, Wednesday, another Monday on the 9th, Wednesday the 11th, Saturday the 14th, and Monday the 16th.
We could probably do Saturday the 14th if you want.
I can put it in there right now. Consider yourself in.
All right.
Yeah, Pikachu and I have been trying to get this done for a year.
But why don't we set it for later at night? That way it's not interfering with whatever sort of stuff. Like start it at say.
Well, what time zone are you in?
I'm Central Time Zone, so like start at like around 8.
Perfect. I'll start at 6 and it's 8 your time.
Yeah, 8 my time zone, something like that.
I have it right here. It's already set for 6 o'clock, so that's 8 your time. We're good.
8:30 my time zone. So
okay, you're in. Done deal.
It's the 14th, right?
The 14th December. I've got you in here already. Okay, so you're in.
Okay.
You're in the schedule, man.
Yeah,
it's totally grooving, man. Everything's going to be awesome.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, guys, I've done a couple of voiceover work for Prophet of Zod. If you guys are familiar with his channel, you should really go check it out.
So I lost it.
Did you see the Ray Comfort one?
If I did not know that was you before I watched it, I would have never known that was you. It was insane.
I'll do Ray Comfort from now and then.
Come on now. Oh my gosh. You and Ocean killed it.
Yeah.
Ocean sounded more like Jordan Peterson than Jordan Peterson sounds like Jordan Peterson.
I know, it's scary how fucking accurate that shit is.
I could not. I screamed.
Yeah.
It's so funny. He's doing part 2 coming up pretty soon, so be on the lookout for that.
I will be. Real quick, I'm seeing Doorknob Head asking where my name was inspired from. That's just my name. It's not inspired by anything, really. It's just who I am. I wish I made it up because it is a cool name, but nope. I kind of got saddled with this one, so I'm running with it.
I kind of like the versions that you have where you throw the rose in as well.
Yeah, I try to use V Rose La Bianca for more of my editing and book publishing persona, just because it kind of helps to have a little bit of differentiation. But yeah,
sure. My favorite flower is a sterling rose, so there you go.
Nice.
Why am I all tangled up in my headphone cord?
All of my sisters have Rose as their middle name.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, so.
You got your own little rose garden.
That's what my mom would say.
No
that's the line. That is the line. Flashbacks. Wow. Okay.
Oh, see? Now I'm in your head. See?
Get out of my head, Neil. Oh my gosh.
All right. So I only have one request for you, V, is the next time you're live on one of your shows, give me a little shout out.
Will do. I'm hosting Talk Heathen tomorrow with Matt Delahanty, so I will give you a shout out.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's cool.
His arm to come on my show. He's already said he'd do it, but it's a matter of tell him to talk to Neil. Fuck, go on his show. He's awesome, but he already knows. Well,
I wish I could be on you guys' show, but it's too bad.
You will be. Oh, you mean my show or their show?
No, I wish I could be on their show too. You know. Along with Neil and the rest of them.
Is now. I'm just kidding.
I think we all wish we could be on you guys' show.
Hey, so did I a couple months ago, and then it came true. So just gotta get down here, make it happen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we go, guys, why don't you guys shill out your stuff? You start, V. You've got a bunch of shows that you're involved with, so shill it all out there, and then we'll call it quits for the night.
Sounds good. I am a host and co-host on the ACA show's Secular Sexuality, and that's every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central. And then Talk Heathen, which is at 1 p.m. Sundays. And then a third super secret show that you can follow and guess about on my Twitter account. That Twitter account is @AuthorConfusion. And that's where you can actually get in touch with me. I don't really use Instagram or Facebook for public stuff so much. So if you want to talk with me, Twitter's the place to do that. And then my website is vroselabianca.com. And keep a lookout for an upcoming book. Knock on something that's wood. About four chapters in, about 10 to go. But my goal is to get that out by middle of next year, and have that as kind of an affordable ebook resource for people who are just starting the deconstruction process.
Beautiful, awesome, that's great. That should be a big help for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm hoping so. It's just answering the questions I needed answers to when I started.
Yeah, right. Which is what I mean. You've taken what you've learned and you're going to help others. And I think that's fucking fantastic. All right, Pikachu, fire away.
Right now I'm still working on this project essay stuff with the SSI stuff. So, seeing how that comes out and, of course, how it gets, if it's going to get attention, whatever, and where it will go, of course, when the project is finally finished. And it's going to take a couple of months before I can actually get it done, because I have to get some equipment and so forth. My birthday is coming up on November the 17th. So next month, hopefully some things will come around. Do note this: I do support welfare. I do support people getting their benefits, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just I support reforming the system, and there's some things that need to be definitely need to be reformed in the system and so forth. And it's to the point where it has to happen at some point. So, in what I'm discussing in my essay or whatever essay work for, which is supposed to be venture into civil rights and is supposed to be foray to get BreadTube into discussing SSI sort of disability sort of stuff, and civil rights for disability people, for people on disability, is going to be a big deal. So I'm hoping that it gets traction and it eventually paves the way for other projects later on. I put a lot of time and a lot of effort over the past month or so into this essay, and I'm getting I know I'm still going to classes for adult ed and whatever stuff or whatever, and so I'm trying to get help with getting some stuff done with it. But yes, I'm definitely trying to work on it and get whatever's done necessary to get this put out for whatever reason.
Is there a place that people can go see the work that you've done so far?
Yes, I have a Patreon account where I have the rough draft of this particular essay. It is another version of the essay. It's another version of the another draft of it. Let me actually see if I can load the account. So it can be found. Give me 1 second.
Can you put the address in the chat?
Yep.
Okay.
If I can actually get my I have to find it on here for a second. Oh.
No problem. While you're doing that, Adam, why don't you tell us, shill your stuff out?
I'm going to make mine super duper quick so you can go on your way. But basically, I'm super easy to find on Twitter, Instagram, well, not Facebook because it's different.
He's
but
everywhere.
Adam the Atheist, everywhere. Hey, Adam the Atheist. You want to find me? Just Google Adam the Atheist. My birthday is coming up on the 30th, so you should follow me so that you can wish me a happy birthday when it comes. And I'm keeping a list of who doesn't wish me happy birthday and who doesn't gets an insta block, because that's the way social media works.
Exactly, right?
Oh my gosh. I love it.
That's hysterical. Yeah, that's right. You're the 30th. I think we were talking about that when I was chatting with you the original time.
Yeah.
Do you got anything there? Pikachu, just stick it in the chat there, and people will definitely go and check it out.
I want people to know that the script itself also has a PDF file linked to it in the Patreon sort of thing that is open to the public, so you guys can see it. This is the I'm gonna link it in the chat.
The actual chat or private chat?
No, in the chat on YouTube.
Okay, good.
Shit. If I can get to it. It went too far forward.
Well, Pikachu's fumbling around trying to find a link. Red, why don't you shill out your stuff?
Yeah, so I'm Red Venture on Twitter and YouTube. Do response videos right now. Got a couple things coming this week. I got a collab with that's probably going to come out this week if it goes well, with Tim of the New Stoics over the New Stoics channel. Doing some animation work for him. And
really cool.
Yeah. And then I'm probably at least one video on my channel this week. It'll be a response.
Fantastic. Awesome. I want to see that. That sounds like it'd be pretty cool. Yeah, go ahead, man. And IQ, you have nothing to talk about, so just shut up. I'm just kidding, brother. IQ is the probably the heartbeat behind what I do, because he's the guy that keeps me afloat for sure. With all the shilling and stuff like that. Yeah.
Signal's breaking up real bad.
Oh, I was making
Every
fun of you. If
robot.
that helps.
Shoot. Let me post it in here, and you
You
can
don't
post
want me
it
to
in
start
the. Hey, Neil, let me
shit
post
out.
it in
We'll be
here,
here all night.
or post it in the DMs, and you can post it. Neil, let me post my link in the DMs on Twitter, and you can post it on the chat on YouTube. All right.
Sure.
Okay.
Real quick, Angie Dell 66 is asking. She lives about 3 hours away from Austin, and what day is the best day to visit the ACA? We are open every day from 11 to 9, but the best day to visit would be Sundays, just because that is when most people show up. That's when we've got the two big hitter shows kind of go in, and that's when most of the people that you're probably going to want to see in terms of hosts are going to be at the building. For sure.
Yeah, Angie, go down there. If you haven't been to the ACA yet, I'm shaking my head right now. Like, what do you mean you haven't been down to the ACA yet?
Whenever I go, I'm just gonna film a video of the studio and just send it to Neil just to piss him off. Be like, I'm here, you're not.
Can I ask you guys a question? Like, have you guys ever?
No.
Have you guys ever had any? Have you guys ever had any like religious churches like protest the ACA stuff, like, you know, out front of the building and so forth? Like,
I can
not
actually
while
answer
I've been
that.
there.
I can actually answer that.
Oh yeah.
I heard in the beginning when they first got going that they had a little bit of issues.
Oh, they did.
But it was very brief.
I'm sure that
when
they first started up, yeah.
Yeah, it was very brief, very subtle. There weren't like a ton of people around, but I would say maybe ask someone like Matt about that, because he might know a little bit more. Because I remember hearing a story that they did have a little bit of kickback when they first opened up down there, but that was a long time ago too, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, I remember hearing the story that they were in another building at one time doing it, and they were
on
getting
a stage. I remember.
Yeah,
being
they were
on
in
stage.
another building. Yeah, they were in a public access building, and they were having troubles because people were calling in to get the Atheist experience, and they were calling into another show, and people were saying that, and what Matt was saying was that he was getting all these complaints from other show people and the people who run the building that
it was a church
that this was going on. So yeah.
Yeah, there's they've been through a lot. That's one thing I do know.
Yeah.
And I never got to meet one of the people that I really wanted to meet was Jeff D, but he doesn't really do much with the ACA anymore.
Yeah, I haven't met him either. Yeah.
Anyway, all right, guys, thanks for jumping in here with me. Red, it's fucking great having you back in these. I missed you hanging out, man. It's good to see you back. Pikachu, good to see you in here. All right, CIQ.
He just jumped right out. He did the. What was that? I think Nacho Witness did that many times. Just like
he just
dropped right out.
Yeah,
duck out.
It's those people in Australia, man. They're upside down, so I wouldn't run it past them.
Hey, no, the Earth is flat. Neil, the Earth is flat.
Right, sure it
fall
is.
Right off.
Sure it is. And Adam, great to have you in. And V, again, thank you so much for chatting with me today and hanging out with us in the after party, getting to talk to a few of the fans and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. This was fun.
I hope you had a good time. I definitely did. Guys, all of you, thank you for being here and hanging out with me, because technically it's almost my birthday. There's only a few hours left till it's midnight, and then it'll technically actually be and singing me happy birthday. That was pretty cool.
Get drunk.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Hey Neil, you need to
Under
come
the
down
affluence of alcohol.
You need to come down here to New Orleans. You need to come down here to New Orleans and go to Bourbon Street for a little while.
Oh shit, yeah, brother. New Orleans is on my bucket list, so I'll be there eventually.
Nice.
All right. All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you guys
All right.
had a good time like we did. And until next time, guys, like I always say at the end of these things, because I couldn't think of anything else at the original time. Like the late, great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we'll see you guys next time.